The Billionaire Needs a Wife bonus scene. By Rachael Eliker. Copyright 2024, BHF Creative Works. It's so good to get back out here. Lauren inhaled a breath of ocean air and closed her eyes, feeling the rhythm of President swaying in an energetic walk under saddle. I know. Luke reached over and wound his fingers between hers from where he was perched atop Louis. Maybe we should have had a beach wedding instead of that huge ordeal at the beginning of December. I, for one, can't believe we pulled it off. I know, but I think we might have been martyred if we didn't invite half the people we did. Plus, Kelsey had the time of her life planning a wedding and reception with the generous budget your grandfather gave her. I'm pretty sure my bouquet holder was encrusted with diamonds. Like, real ones. Lucky for her, then, that she caught it. If she wasn't having so much fun dating, the men back in Michigan would have to be careful. Once Kelsey puts her mind to something, she goes all in. I saw the way she kept sneaking peeks at Sawyer. Laughing, Lauren ran her hand up and down President's black mane. I saw it too. She was fluttering her eyelashes at him, and while they were dancing, Sawyer kept smiling like an idiot. He totally has the hots for her. As much as I didn't like the guy when I first met him, I'd be content knowing he was able to make someone like Kelsey happy. Same. Now, if he'd quit being such a workaholic and go after her. The man does work too much. Lauren tipped back her head and laughed, coming from a guy who was married to his job up until a few months ago. Kissing her knuckles, Luke didn't argue. Being married to you is infinitely more enjoyable. They reached the beach, and President tried to pick up the pace while Louis matched him. They knew what was coming. Lauren reined President in, not quite ready for a gallop. She wanted to soak in the scenery, making sure she didn't miss anything. Glancing down at the wedding ring on her finger, she knew exactly how lucky she was. Looking out over the waves as they crashed up on the beach and how the sun made the water sparkle like shards of crystal, a keen sense of gratitude swelled within her. We should have just honeymooned out here. I thought it was odd where you chose to go for our honeymoon. Quebec City isn't exactly the balmiest of locations in December, and everyone knows how much you hate the cold. Giggling behind her fingers, Lauren shrugged. I'd never been before, and it seemed like a honeymoon destination that wasn't so cliché to visit. Besides, I apparently don't mind the cold so much when I have someone handsome like you to snuggle up with. No arguments here. I think I could live in that itty-bitty cabin the rest of my life with you. Let's not go crazy. A trip to visit is one thing. An entire season of snow might be a bit much. Besides, I'd miss this too much. Louis sidestepped a glob of seaweed while Luke just laughed. Quit being a blockhead, Louis. The last time we were out here, you tried to eat the seaweed. I'm so glad you decided to keep him. Lauren gathered up her reins, and President picked up a choppy trot. All he wanted to do was run. I could tell the first time I watched you ride him that you mean a lot to him. I would have let him slip out of my fingers if you hadn't said something. I was pretty sure that I was too busy for any one horse. She reached over and poked Luke in the thigh. What did I say? You make time for what matters to you. I think I've already admitted that I think you're ridiculously intelligent. Glancing toward the stretch of beach in front of them, Luke nodded his head toward the sunset. What do you say? I think we've kept the horses from galloping long enough that they're going to dump us and take off if we don't go soon. Winner gets to decide what we do tonight? Does any woman wonder how her husband wants to spend their evenings together? Luke lifted his eyebrows and wiggled them. Lauren's face grew hot at the innuendo, and she laughed. Well, maybe I'll win and have you wait on me hand and foot while I take a bath and watch corny romance movies. I'd be fine with that too. Ready then? President lurched forward, but she caught him. Cheater. Luke nodded, and with a wave of Lauren's arm, they tore off along the sand. The wind whipped across Lauren's face, and tears started streaking across her cheeks from the corners of her eyes. Louis took an early lead, but like Lauren, President was wildly competitive and wasn't about to be left behind. They were neck and neck when something caught Lauren's attention. A brand new house had been built at dead center along the stretch of the beach. Signaling President to a halt, she stared at the building, wondering when it had shown up and who on earth had built it. It took Luke a moment to realize Lauren had fallen behind. Looping Louis around, he cantered to her with a smile that made Lauren wonder if he was up to something. Pointing at the house, Lauren's mouth opened, then snapped shut while she tried to figure out how to ask what she was wondering. She hitched her thumb at the house. "Did you know about this?" "Yep." "Whose is it?" "Ours." "What for?" "It's a wedding gift for you." Sliding off President's side, Lauren stared at the house. It wasn't the most extravagant home she'd ever seen, but it was obviously well-built and comfortable, with a spacious deck facing the ocean, stone arches, and enough windows that from the inside, Lauren was sure every sunrise and sunset would be spectacular. "This is too much, Luke. I mean, I got a tie tack for you, and that's only because I noticed your tie sometimes slips out of your suit coat." Luke jumped off Louis and patted the horse on the neck. "I love that tie tack. Very practical." "That's just it. Practical." "What's wrong with practical?" Lauren covered her eyes with her hand. "I'm afraid I'm going to be giving you socks and beard trimmers the rest of your life while you're surprising me with luxury homes and jewelry with diamonds the size of my eyeballs." Luke belted out a hearty laugh. "Hey, you gave me permission to surprise you if there were good secrets involved. This is too much." "You already said that." Luke held out his hand and Lauren took it. He brought her in closer and settled her under the crook of his arm. "Nothing is too much for you." "I told you that I don't need anything flashy." "I know, but once in a while I want to spoil you. It's the least I can do to show you how much I love you. If I could, I'd give you the world. What's one house?" "One house? Do you hear yourself?" Luke rearranged his hold on her, hugging her close to his chest. He stroked his hand down her back, and as a tremor shook her spine, she released a sigh that took her worry and anxiety with it. Putting his hands on her head, he turned her face up to meet his. "Let me do this one thing for you, please." Lauren wanted to roll her eyes and be playful, but a veil of tears made it difficult. "Fine, I won't argue." Stooping down to her level, Luke drew her into a kiss that knocked the breath right out of her. She couldn't have resisted if she tried. "Come on, let's go and look." Luke held her hand in one and Louis's reins in the other, clucking for the horse to follow him. They jogged up a path to a circular paver driveway with a beautiful tropical garden at the center. Luke pointed out his favorite outside features and where Kelsey had helped him choose some of the architecture and design. "So, if I don't like it, I can blame Kelsey?" Lauren teased. "Basically." He gestured at the house. "Want to see the inside?" "What are we going to do with the horses? Park them in the garage?" Chuckling, Luke shook his head. "I guess I should show you one of my favorite parts of the backyard first." Lauren followed Luke, her curiosity making her hurry. Past a fire pit and hot tub, there was a small barn with a fenced paddock out the side. "Is that our very own barn? That way, if we want to ride the horses here like we did today, we can leave them here." Lauren couldn't hold back the tears any longer. "I've always wanted to have my horses in my backyard." That's kind of what inspired me to start this project. Living in the city and close to work is fine, but for a long time, I've wanted to have a beachfront property. Waking up to the ocean outside my window seemed like a nice way to start the day. Although, waking up next to you, no matter where we are, makes everything perfect. Lauren rose on her toes and kissed him without restraint, hoping her appreciation was communicated without question to him. When he drew back and looked into her eyes, she could tell he understood completely. "So we can drive to the house or ride horses to get here?" Lauren asked. "Or take the helicopter?" Luke pointed to a slab of concrete off the side of the house that Lauren hadn't noticed. "Oh my goodness, a helicopter? I believe I remember you specifically saying Sawyer was showing off when he used his helicopter to get around Orlando. Luke shrugged and looped his arms low on Lauren's hips. I might have thought it was a good investment. It'll save me time getting to and from the office so I can get back home to you faster. Can't argue with that logic. Let's put the horses away and check out the inside. I want to know what you think of it. In the barn, Luke and Lauren untacked the horses and put them out in the paddock where they rolled in the dirt and pranced around the perimeter, checking out their surroundings. When they calmed down enough to nibble on the hay Luke had thrown in the feeder, Luke took Lauren's hand and led her up the stairs to the back door where he punched in a code and slid open the glass door to the kitchen. Without asking, he scooped Lauren up in her arms and she squealed and giggled. "What are you doing?" "I'm carrying my bride over the threshold of our home. You already did that, when we went to the cabin and when we got back to the penthouse apartment. But this is different. It's our first home together." He kissed her on the cheek. "Besides, get used to it. I like having you in my arms." "Fine. As it turns out, I like being in your arms." Luke walked inside, nudging the door closed with his foot. Putting her back on her feet, Lauren could hardly believe her eyes. Luxury met comfort and functionality in every well-thought-out detail of the home. It was already furnished stylishly, and walking through to the living room, she stared out the wall of windows. She hadn't been wrong about the spectacular view. Luke sat down on the couch, bringing her with him. "You like it?" The hesitation in his voice was adorable. She rested her head over his heart and spread her hand across his chest, inhaling a breath of the scent clinging to his shirt. "I couldn't be happier if I was given a castle. You really are too good to me." He kissed the top of her head. "I don't know how many ways I can tell you. There's nothing I wouldn't do for you. As long as I'm able to make you this happy. I'm obviously going to have to up my gift-giving game, though. You make me this happy by just loving me. I feel like I'm the one falling short." Lauren was so full of gratitude. She wasn't sure if it was going to come out as tears or a fit of laughter. "Oh, I forgot. I have one more thing for you." Luke sprung off the couch and jogged to a closet by the front door, returning with a wrapped box. "Really? More?" Lauren asked as he placed the package in her lap. "This isn't a big deal, I promise." "This better be it. I'm serious, mister. You're putting me to shame." Her lips lifted in a smile and she tore at the wrapping paper. Opening the box, she laughed as she pulled out a baseball cap. "A hat? So you don't have to steal mine." Lauren plunked the hat on her head. "You might regret giving me this." "Why's that?" "Half the fun of me stealing yours is you trying to get it back from me." Luke blinked, seeing her point. "Maybe I should return it." He slipped the hat off of her, looking her straight in the eyes, and Lauren wouldn't have been able to move if she wanted to. She was completely hypnotized by him and the love and admiration that was there. It was for her, and if there was one thing she ever wished she could have, it was Luke's love for the rest of her life. He kissed her neck, the delicate soft skin by her ear, and up to her cheekbone. When he whispered in her ear, his warm breath made the hairs on her neck stand at attention. "I love you, Lauren, and am looking forward to an entire lifetime of reminding you how much I need you." Bringing his face up to hers, she could barely hear around her heartbeat thudding in her ears. "I know I'd never be complete again without you. I want a lifetime with you. I want forever. I never knew that until we had our second chance. Life hadn't really, truly begun. I love you, Luke, with every last piece of my heart." The end. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to BHF Creative Works channel for more content. If you enjoyed this recording, continue the series with The Billionaire Needs a Date,